we should be good. All right, we can talk about my caffeine addiction as well.
Okay.
All right, let's start this over. Take 2.
Is it recording? Okay. Hello, y'all, and welcome to episode number 70 of Modern Day Overthinker. I am your guest host today. My name is Tabbatha, and I came on the show to give you guys a little sneak peek into Collin and who Collin is. So we're doing a What About Collin episode.
Yeah, I wanted to do something different for episode 70, and luckily it worked out that I could be in Cedar Rapids today. I have something going on later, so I'm glad it was kind of a last-minute effort. I'm very much a procrastinator, which is something we can talk about later. But I did this on episode 50 where I had my friend Callie interview me and ask me questions that were either questions that she developed or questions that were submitted. So Tabbatha has a bunch of questions that she's developed. We have a few questions that were submitted by listeners as well. So I'm going to do my best to answer them and, like always, be authentic and vulnerable as possible, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So I sat on my deck last night and did a little intellectual research on different questions to ask people to get to know them. Some of them funny, outlandish, maybe deep, just questions to get to know somebody. So I'm going to get my little list here and ask you questions.
Well, before you start, what's the significance of the deck for people who don't know?
Oh, yes. So I am actually the host of Deck Diaries podcast, and the podcast started on my deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it just kind of evolved. So that's my place where I go and I write and I sit and I hang out.
It's your creative space.
Yeah, it's just I hang out on the deck. So I hung out on the deck last night, and I've got some good questions for you.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to jump in. Question number 1, what type of music are you into?
Hip-hop. So I primarily listen to hip-hop and rap. Same difference in my head, but sometimes people want it preferenced. But lyrical hip-hop, to be specific, and anything with substance. And mainly, like, to give you an idea of a big artist that most people know that I listen to a lot is J. Cole.
Like him, yes.
Great artist. And basically anyone you put in front of me that's lyrical, that has some substance to it, I will more than likely get down with it. So, who
are some of your faves? Do you like old school hip hop, new hip hop?
I do like some old school hip hop. I am a big Nas fan.
Yeah.
Which I kind of jumped on the Nas train late. I caught up because actually when I grew up, I had more of my friends were listening to Jay-Z because you kind of had to pick a side there for a while.
I was Nas.
Yeah. I feel like if I would have been a little bit older and paying more attention, because I didn't start getting into hip-hop until the early 2000s. So
okay.
I grew up listening to, like, G-Unit, 50 Cent, Kanye before he disappeared.
Yeah.
And I actually was a big 50 Cent fan for a long time. I still kind of am. I like 50 Cent.
He's into club, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I mean, yeah, it's great dance
Eminem,
music.
of course.
Of course.
Yeah. I wrote a letter to Eminem when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, he never got it.
Stan? Poor Stan.
I did it. Yeah, because I was obsessed with Stan.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought that was real. I thought that song, because I was younger, I didn't know any better. I thought it was like a real song, like where somebody actually, that all actually happened. And, which is fine. Like, I wasn't, like, sad, like, when I found out Santa Claus wasn't real. But,
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's not real. It was just him being creative. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When I got older, yeah.
That was a great album. I seen him in concert in the early 2000s.
Oh, that's sick. Now it's like you got to sell your house to buy a ticket to one of his shows.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I am fortunate in that. I'm older than you. I'm 43. But so that was like prime, late 90s, early 2000s. Was prime concert time. All the list of shows I've been to. Yeah.
What's the best hip hop show you've been to?
Probably Eminem.
Probably Eminem.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a family values tour.
Okay.
So it was like Eminem, DMX, Exhibit.
Oh, I loved it. I listened to a lot of DMX growing up too.
Limp Bizkit, Korn. Like it was insane.
Yeah,
one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
That's awesome.
For sure.
I also got to see Mac Miller before he passed away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so hip hop for Collin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you look like a Dave Matthews guy, but
I know that people are usually they jump to conclusions on
yeah,
that.
for sure.
But it's fine.
Okay. What's your favorite way to spend a day off?
So lately, it's been spending my time being productive. I've been trying to implement lists and to-do lists and getting things done, and it just really boosts my self-esteem, and I deal with depression, so it really helps with that. And also, if it's nice enough and it's season, I like to play golf. Big golf guy, and I always have golfed since I've been younger, but I played a lot of golf. Like COVID brought that all back because it was one of the only things to do for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very socially distanced, so you could golf whenever, and I did a lot of golfing during 2020, 2021, and ever since, basically. So
Nice. Good. Okay.
and just spending time with friends,
Yeah.
and I'm always a good guy to go grab dinner or lunch because I don't like to cook. So
Yeah. Do you reach out to people and try to put
Yeah.
those on your list?
I've been doing a better job at reaching out to people because most of the time my phone is inbound calls rather than outbound calls. So I'm trying to do a better job at that.
Good job. Good
Yeah.
job. Solid. Okay. Where is the next place on your travel bucket list and why?
Ooh, probably either New York City or Austin, Texas, solely because of comedy for the
Okay.
most part.
And you've never been to either of those places?
I've been to New York City for one day. I had a friend of mine, his dad, a friend of the family. I'm good friends with him too. He coached one of the teams that went to the Little League World Series back in, this would have been in like 2005, 2004, something like that. And they were out in Pennsylvania, and they treat those kids like royalty, like when you get to the Little League World Series. So they had a day off, and they took them to Yankee Stadium. And this was the old Yankee Stadium before they tore it down. Now they have a brand new one. And so me and my buddy, since his dad was the coach and his brother was on the team, we just like piggybacked off of what they were doing.
Nice.
And we got to go to Yankee Stadium, and we got to go like down the locker room. This was like in the steroid era. So I remember seeing Jason Giambi, who was like a really good baseball player at the time, and he was just massive. Like, and then I saw Randy Johnson up close, who's
Nice.
super tall.
Very tall.
And I was a tiny. I didn't have a growth spurt till I was like later in high school, so I was really short. So he was just like towering over everyone. And I saw Hideki Matsui. I remember he was an outfielder for the Yankees. I'm not sure who he plays for now. I haven't kept up with baseball, but I remember him specifically eating a banana in his jockstrap.
Some major league shit.
I saw that when I was 14.
Nice.
Yeah, and that image is, and it's not like, it's a more of a funny image. It's not like
Yeah.
a traumatic image. It's
Yeah.
like just funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That's
So I haven't actually spent time in New York City.
Okay.
I was just there for that, and then we left.
Okay. Okay.
So, but then Austin, Texas is becoming
Huge for comedy.
huge for comedy,
Yeah.
mainly because of Rogan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope you get there.
Yeah, I'll
Put
make
that
it
on
happen
your
soon.
list.
I'll make it happen soon.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Texas until like a few months from now because it's just brutally hot right now
Yeah, true that.
for that one.
Winter trip.
In New York, it's just expensive. So,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
doing what I can more locally for now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I got a funny one for you.
Okay. I need to get in funny mode anyway, so.
What hair color do bald people list on their driver's license?
Ooh.
Stumped.
That is a great question.
I know. Can you
put bald? Do you,
NA?
yeah, not applicable. I don't know what you put.
Do you put what your hair color was?
That would make the most sense, I think. But
It's a solid question, though, isn't it?
yeah, is there a bald category?
I don't know.
Yeah, what if you have like a
We're going to need...
what if you have a crow's nest? Then you just put like obviously what hair you have left. Or maybe if you have facial hair, then you do the facial hair color.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe like your natural hair color before you went bald.
That's what I'm assuming.
That has to be it.
That's what I'm assuming. It'd be funny if it could just be NA, though.
Yeah, if you were just completely bald, no facial hair, just...
Yeah. NA. I thought that was a funny question.
Yeah, that is a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never thought about that at all.
Google that, listeners, and let us know what the answer is.
Yeah, I'm going to have to Google it when we're done.
I'm going to ask at the driver's license place when I have to go renew.
Yeah. You might as well. It's terrible there, so have a little fun with it.
Okay. Who was your first celebrity crush, and how old were you?
Ooh. It's a toss-up, actually. I don't remember which one was first. It was either... Do you say how old was I?
Mm-hmm.
I was fascinated by women when I was like 5 years old. So I don't know who it was when I was 5, but as I got older, one of my first ones was Britney Spears. That was huge.
Britney, yeah.
I saw her in concert. It was amazing.
I've seen her in concert, too.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, she flew over on a magic carpet over the crowd. It was incredible. I'm pretty sure that was my first concert. It was Britney Spears, and she had LFO.
Summertime Girls?
Yeah. LFO opened for her. And then another one was Hillary Duff was the other one.
Okay.
Another person I wrote a letter that never got back to me.
You wrote a letter to Hillary?
Oh, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, it was through like, it was when she was on Disney Channel. They had a thing where you can message.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, some intern probably got it and didn't respond.
Aww. Hillary Duff, if you ever hear this.
Yeah, she's married now.
Write him back, but at least write him back.
Yeah, it breaks my heart. Yeah.
Oh, heartbreak.
So I have a type, you can already tell from me saying those two people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your hobbies, and how did you get into them?
Well, the podcast is more of a passion than a hobby at this point. And stand-up comedy. And then another one that I don't talk about a lot because it's so sporadic with me is writing and recording hip-hop songs. So I've done a little bit of rapping here and there since I was 16.
You're going to have to release that on one of your episodes.
Yeah, I mean, people can look it up. I mean, it's hit or miss on whether you like it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, my rap name is Bonesy Bad, so.
Bonesy Bad?
Yeah.
Bonesy Bad.
It used to be just Bonesy, but there was another dude that had the name Bonesy on Spotify, and I was like, God damn it. So I had to switch it. Yeah.
Okay.
But a friend of mine actually gave me that name. I used to my nickname was Bones when I was growing up. And
Why?
Skinny, very skinny.
Okay.
I was like the scrawny, tiny kid for the longest time.
Okay.
Until like 25. I had no metabolism. Like I was just like always scrawny.
Do people still call you Bonesy?
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah. That's not a bad nickname.
It's not terrible. Yeah. I've been called way worse than that, so.
Yeah. We all have.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the last thing you read?
Ooh. Last thing that I read was, I'm not a huge reader. That's something I'm trying to get back into. It's mainly because of my attention span and because of my addiction to my phone. That's another thing I'm trying to implement is setting the phone down. Like last night I set the phone down, put it on the charger. I have like a little like wireless docking thing for my phone and for my watch and stuff. And I actually fell asleep meditating last night, which I don't really meditate. I meditate consistently. That's another thing that's like something I know I want to do but implement. I'm very ADD and OCD, so reading can be kind of a pain sometimes.
Have you tried audiobook plus reading?
Ooh.
So that's...
Where you like follow along, basically?
That's the best for me. So I still then got me through college, almost graduated with 4.0.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so I'm the same way. Like I genuinely love to read and love to learn, but when I sit down and start reading a book, I get sleepy a lot. I want to fall asleep. I'm not paying attention. Squirrel, And I found years ago that the trick was audio. And then to have the physical book in my hand, just feels really nice. And then I just kind of flow along with it. So try that.
So that is genius. So I'm definitely going to try that. So the last thing I read was actually, last thing I read was recovery related. I can't even tell you exactly what it was, but it was from a recovery literature.
I'll send you a list of some good ones. And I have Audible, so I can like share some credits and stuff with you.
I have Audible as well, yeah.
I mean, so you got to buy the book, but I also like books. I have a great collection of books.
So do I.
But there's something about having the book and then having it in your mind and in your ear and reading it that way and soaking the information in that way is just there's something about it.
That's the thing is like I question whether or not I actually obtain the information and then I'll make myself read it over again.
Yeah.
And then I start like an OCD loop and then it's just like, and then I just throw the book to the side. I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even in college, I would have the book and then you could like on Chegg or whatever, you could get the audio and I would get the audio. And that's how I would learn. So just a tip.
I like that.
Try it. Give it a shot.
I will.
What's your most prized possession and why?
Ooh. I would say either my cat or my house. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Probably more so my cat, just because she has been with me since basically she's 4 years old now. So she's been with me quite some time, and I never had a pet of my own.
She's your first?
Yeah, she's
What's
my
her
first
name?
pet. Myrtle.
Myrtle.
Yeah.
Myrtle.
Myrtle the cat.
Why'd you name her Myrtle?
I wanted to think of the funniest, like, unique old lady name.
Okay.
And I also have a friend named Myrtle, who's an older lady. She's triple OG. She's super cool. And I found out that that's my, actually, I think it's my great-great-grandma's name. Or great-great-great-grandma's name. Yeah. That just happened to be a thing as well. So it just, like, worked out. I was just like, this is what we're going with.
Myrtle. I love it. That's cute.
It wasn't like, she looks like a Myrtle. Like, she's a cat. So and it was my first cat, too. I grew up with dogs, so, yeah.
Okay. And she probably looks like a Myrtle now, though.
Oh, she definitely does.
Like they kind of grow into their name.
Yeah, she's grown into her name, and she's very, very unique, that's for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
She's a character.
Okay. Myrtle the cat.
Yeah.
This is a good one. If you had to mud wrestle with one former U.S. president, who would it be?
Ooh.
So good.
Nah, you said former, so that ruined the current one. So I would win that immediately. Former U.S. president, I would say George W. Bush because he's kind of small. Yeah.
That's what the answer on my deck was last night from my boyfriend.
Because he seems pretty short.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'11". I feel like I could get him there with and he doesn't seem like a very big guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
George W. Bush.
George W. Bush.
All right.
Yeah.
I went with Jimmy Carter.
Okay. Because he was in a wheelchair?
No, he was the president. He was the president when I was born.
Wait, no, he wasn't in the wheelchair.
He wasn't in the wheelchair.
That was...
Yeah, Carter was president the year I was born in '79, and I figure he's old, so I could whoop his ass.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Actually, he might be dead, right? Jimmy Carter? No, he's still around.
Still around?
I'd whoop that old ass.
Yeah, the older the better. That's why I was going to say, like, Biden would be easy, but he's not a former president.
Yeah.
So.
It's a good question, though.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I know. I loved it. What causes are you passionate about?
Obviously, any mental health cause, any mental health awareness. I do the suicide walk every year for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Nice.
Which is a mouthful, but I try to do that. The cool thing about me being on the border of Iowa and Illinois is I can do the one in Illinois and I can do the one in Iowa that they do in the Quad Cities. So
sweet.
I try to do both. That's actually coming up next month.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, worst moment that you've ever had to poop. Worst moment, worst timing.
Oh, that's easy. So I was on a date, actually. I've told this story on stage before because it's so ridiculous. That was one of my first comedy sets. I told this story because I didn't know what else to say because I blanked. And I was like, I'll tell this story. It'll fill up a bunch of time. So, yeah, I was on a date with this girl that I had been seeing. It was her birthday, and we met at her parents' house, and we went out to eat, and we all rode together. It's a key part of the story. So we ended up going out to eat. Everything was fine. As we're leaving the restaurant, I start to get, like, my stomach just drops. I'm like, oh, man. I started to feel really bad and, like...
Sweating.
Yeah, it was terrible. And I had to ride home with them in a pretty packed car. And, yeah, so I'm just, like, clenched, sweating. And it was a good, like, 10-minute drive at least. So I had to make up an excuse to leave. And I made something up about my sister needing help, like her car broke down or something. And I was just like... And then, so I I wasn't going to go in their house. I was like...
Oh, I should have just gone inside.
It would have been bad. And then this is still worse, though. I went and I sat in my car and I immediately shit my pants.
Oh.
And then I had to drive home. And I had shorts on, too, so it was a mess.
Oh.
It was a war zone in my car. It was terrible. Yeah. So I had to drive home in that, and needless to say, things did not work out with that girl after that.
I was going to say, because you left so abruptly, maybe?
Yeah.
You should have just told her the truth.
I did actually recently, but that was like 15 years ago.
Did she think it was funny now?
Yeah.
That's some meet the parent shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good story. Okay, so I'm going to take some from your listeners that wrote. I would like to know how you stay so positive in a world that feels so dark.
Yeah. Well, there's two sides to that coin because in my head, I'm not always super positive, but I try to be as positive as possible because I know that there's a lot of negativity in the world already. People are always, not always, but there's a lot of people struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And just humor is a big part of it. I sometimes use it to deflect, which is not good, but it's knowing that things are not going to be terrible forever because I've had some really, really dark times, and I had one pretty recently where I was just like, whew, haven't been here in a while. This sucks. And I was just like, but I knew it's like you just got to get through these next couple of days, or it doesn't last as long as it used to because I don't sit in it. I try to stay productive and try to do what I can. Sometimes I'm just on autopilot. I was on autopilot for a couple of days there, but yeah, it's just continuing to move forward regardless of what's going on. And also,
have you figured out any tools to, when you're in that dark place, to kind of boost your morale or your mind or change your mindset? Do you have tools?
I'm developing tools, so reaching out to someone, anyone that cares, not just anyone actually, but someone that cares. I have a good network of people I can reach out to. Sometimes it's just, getting out of your own head, writing, creating something, working on something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Like with me, the podcast, going to an open mic,
Mind shift is so important.
Yeah. Shifting your mind, or just maybe reaching out to somebody that they're struggling, and then just listening to them, and it really can put things into perspective. Like, man, I may be struggling, but that person's like in a worse spot than me, and kind of switching your role into someone that helps people get through their tough time while you're simultaneously getting through your time as well. So
Yeah.
I didn't do a very good job the last time I was in the dark place, though. I kind of kept it way to myself, and I don't recommend doing that at all.
Why do you think you did that?
I didn't want to, which is something I don't recommend. I didn't want to worry anyone. Like, I wanted to reach out to my parents about it, but I didn't want them to worry about me. So, so I just I talked to a couple people about it, but I was kind of like on the surface about it. I didn't really like say a whole lot about what was going on.
Do you acknowledge that that's unhealthy behavior?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. I did not. I kind of did it after the fact, when things were less cloudy. I started reaching out to people and telling people what was going on or what was going on, I guess, and like how I'm kind of like bouncing back from it. So I did it, but not at the right time.
Gotcha.
So it was a learning experience for sure, like most things.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Another one of your guest questions was, if you could tell your 14-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
Don't drink. Don't do it. Think about the bigger picture. I know a lot of, speaking directly to myself is different, but I would just say all your friends may be doing this, maybe drinking, maybe partying, but you have a good work ethic, and I did have a good work ethic, and I still do have a good work ethic. If you continuously improve yourself, you will be unstoppable. And I've had people tell me that. And if I would have just cared less about what other people think about me, which is easier said than done, obviously, especially when you're in high school,
especially at that age.
Oh man, that age sucks so much. And also, luckily my dad always told me, he's like, these are good years for you. He didn't like talk down, like say these are going to be the worst years of your life, but he was also like, this won't be this is just like a very small chapter in your whole life. Like, this doesn't need to be, because he has people that he knows that talk about the glory days or like all that stuff that live in the past. And he's like, you don't want to be that guy. It's
so hard. Me and my mom friends talk about this with our kids, like trying to explain to our kids that like this is not end all be all.
Yeah.
But what you have to remember is that for them in that moment, at that time, in this time in their life, it is.
They feel like it is, yeah.
You have nothing to compare it to.
Exactly.
You know, like the first heartbreak, like, oh, my boyfriend broke up with me, and it's the end of the fucking world.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything to compare it to. So It is the end of their world right now. So, yeah, it's hard to think that, too. Like, I could tell my 14-year-old self a million things, but I wouldn't have listened, But
oh, yeah, I probably wouldn't have listened either, but...
No.
Yeah.
So stay away from the booze. That's what you'd tell yourself.
Yeah, just stay away from that, from partying, and do what you've always wanted to do, and that's be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like I could have found something a little bit sooner if I would have done that, which I don't dread the past anymore. But
yeah, you can't.
No, but if I had to change something, that would be one thing for sure. Because I only did it because I thought like it was the cool thing to do, and that's what my friends were doing, and this is happening. And also, obviously, I, enjoyed it. For a while.
We all did at that age.
Yeah. And he felt cool, like, I'm like drinking underage.
It was just kind of the thing to do. Like, that's what you did. That's what teenagers do, right?
Yep.
Like, we party, we experiment. Not all, but I would say the good majority of all of us kind of did.
Good chunk of people, yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to see the statistics on that, but I bet it's most of us.
Yeah.
All partied. Like.
Yeah, or there's some people that just waited, and then once they got to college, it was like a loose cannon.
Yeah.
I have a couple friends like that.
Yeah.
One in particular I can think of.
Yeah. Just go crazy in college.
That just went wild.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends that did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That they were pretty tame in high school. And then, like, freshman year rolled around, and it was like, whoa, who is she?
Yeah, this person I didn't know in high school, but yeah, they didn't start partying until freshman year. And I was like, how did high school work for you if you didn't do any of that? I thought it was bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did with theirs.
Yeah, they actually like just were, while they were very involved in sports and stuff, they didn't have as much time to as I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is key too.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What's your go-to dance move, and can you show me?
Oh, no.
No, you don't have a go-to dance move?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't like dancing at all.
You don't like to dance?
Which is weird, and it's something that I want. It's a fear, actually. It's a judgmental fear that I've always had. Not always, because when I was a kid, like, my mom will tell you stories, my dad will tell you stories. Like, when we used to go on vacation, it was me and a friend of mine. If we went on family vacations together, we would always be like dancing and just like ripping apart the dance. I used to do the worm a lot when I was kid. I can't do it anymore.
Practice.
Yeah. I used to be the worm guy for a while. That was
The worm guy.
That was my go-to.
Yeah.
I couldn't really do anything else. But yeah, I would like to, because it's very freeing to dance, and I know that. And I remember.
Do you even dance by yourself, like at home?
Sometimes, but not really.
Maybe that's where you should start. Like,
yeah.
I dance my little ass off when I clean the house and stuff. Like, I'll just crank up some music and just.
I'll dance for Myrtle.
Myrtle?
Like, yeah,
Myrtle likes it.
Myrtle's seen no, she actually judges me for sure. Yeah, she's just like, what is going on with you? But it's fun because she can't say anything. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe add that.
She's not telling anyone.
Add that to your list.
Yeah.
Like, so if you were to go out, like, you wouldn't dance? Like, say we all go to a wedding and we're all dancing. You wouldn't dance?
Probably not.
Really?
It would take a lot for me to get out there. Another thing that I think that I have to it's kind of like retraining my brain because, you know, I used to party a lot. So I would dance then, but I had to have, like, encouragement, liquid encouragement or whatever encouragement.
Encouragement.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd have something in my system before I would.
Yeah.
It would let my guard down so I wouldn't care what other people thought of me.
Yeah. I've had this conversation with sober friends.
Yeah.
And learning how to, quote unquote, party sober.
Yeah.
Like, because we do have that mental block.
Mm-hmm.
But you just need to remember that when you were intoxicated and you were doing it, you didn't care and nobody actually judged you.
Yeah.
So now that you're sober, the outcome's going to be the same.
Oh, yeah, I know. And I know that. It's like
You
a
just
weird
have to do it.
block. Yeah.
Like my co-host, Megan, that girl is sober most of the time. Like, she's not a big drinker or anything like that. And she's the first one and the last one on the dance floor. She will bust her ukulele out at a party. Like karaoke, she kills it.
I've done that a couple times.
And all sober.
Yeah. Actually, karaoke's interesting because everybody always wants me to rap because they know I rap. And
Yeah.
like, do an Eminem song. I'm like, do you know how hard it is doing an Eminem song?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they
Megan
want me
does Bust a Move. That's her go-to.
Ooh, that's a good song.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, so maybe start dancing at home a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, I think I do.
Give Myrtle some shows.
I've done it more, and I used to dance like a little bit more. Like, yeah, it was never in public. It was always at my house, you know, like either for Myrtle or like my ex-girlfriend got to see some weird.
I'm putting
dance
that on
moves.
your bucket list.
Yeah, put it. Yeah, you gotta.
We're gonna take him to a wedding or something that we have to go to, and I'm just gonna force you.
I haven't been invited to a lot.
You're gonna do it.
That's a weird thing about getting sober. You don't get invited to a lot of weddings. So.
What?
Like, I don't.
Really? That's lame. That wouldn't even cross my mind when I was making a guest list.
I don't know if it. I don't know. I also stopped hanging out with a lot of different people when I got sober, but I didn't like cut them off.
Yeah. Things change though.
Yeah, my thing is like, once you're my friend, you're always my friend. That's how I've always felt, but not everybody feels that way. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't. Yeah. Also, weddings can be kind of inconvenient.
Yeah?
Depending on who it is, like if it's somebody you know really well, like, and you know the bride and the groom, then it's different. But if you like just know the groom, you don't really know the bride, and
That's when you get to know the bridesmaids, Collin.
oh well, yeah. There's that.
These are opportunities.
Opportunities. I understand.
You need to
that.
start thinking of everything as an opportunity.
Yeah, you're right.
You talk about struggling with dating, take the opportunities.
Yeah.
Never know. You can meet your wife at some
I've
wedding.
been so uninterested.
You could do the worm, and she could be like, "That's my husband.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's the fucking guy I'm taking home
If I can
tonight."
do the one without hurting myself now,
You would probably get mad puss for that.
yeah, busting out
it
the old,
out?
yeah. If I can still do it, man.
All the bridesmaids' panties would drop.
If you don't do it, if you don't do it the right way, it's very.
I was gonna say, it looks like it would hurt your junk.
That's the key. Yeah, that's the key. Watch out for. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Do you have a secret talent?
The secret talent would probably be. I guess it's not really a secret now because I talked about it, but rapping, freestyling a little bit. I am not as good at freestyling as I used to be because I used to do it more.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend of mine that we would freestyle together, and that was awesome because we could just like piggyback off each other. And so, yeah, shout out to my friend Chris from college.
Get the band back together.
Yeah, dude, he's so good at freestyling. He got me like way better at it just by freestyling with him. It was fun.
Nice. Okay,
So-
so freestyling.
Yeah, freestyling. I'm trying to do that more. I like to do that. I like to put on a beat while I'm driving, and just see what I can come up with.
Yeah, that's smart.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I used to do that like when I was driving back and forth from Davenport to Iowa City every day for work. That used to be part of my drive home.
Okay.
It was fun. Kept me entertained for the 50-minute drive I had.
This is from one of your listeners.
Okay.
What topic have you found to be difficult to talk about on your podcast?
There's a couple, but the one I thought of when I first saw that question, which that was like one of the questions that stuck out to me the most. And that would probably be, you were talking about it earlier, about what like material I used when I was younger, or used like that's not on the internet. I've been trying to cut out porn from my life for about at least over the last year. It's like one of the worst. I wouldn't say like I'm addicted to it, because it's not like I like sit around all day and watch porn. You know? But it's like I become so accustomed to using it, and I know how bad it is. I know how it affects me, and it's just like I just don't want it a part of my life.
It's like a problem. That's a thing.
It's
like,
a serious thing for a lot of guys,
like not
and women as well.
Not even like, I mean, you can use the word addicted or whatnot.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what word to use for it, but it's not good.
It can be very numbing. It can be sexually numbing,
desensitizing.
and it desensitizes you. That's a thing. I've thought about doing an entire podcast episode on that actually.
Yeah.
Because it can fuck your shit up.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
too easy and accessible.
especially now, and it gets just more. I mean, it's gotten more accessible as as we grew up watching the internet become what it is. It used to be like at the beginning, it was kind of difficult because you had to dial up.
Like everybody in the house knew.
Yeah.
Colin's in his room with the door shut.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents didn't know how to knock for a while. They had to learn the hard way.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, it's always been a thing. Just because growing up with it was just so accessible.
Yeah.
And like that, it was part of conversations me and my friends had.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, working on the porn. Good for you.
Yeah.
I hear that from other males around me. Like I've had this conversation actually that they're like on a porn break. Like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I would like to.
Trying to rewire their brain.
Yeah, exactly. It's completely messed my head up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say? One thing.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I have a sticky note on my house that my therapist had me put up. She didn't tell me what to say on it, but there's a, I don't know if it was a song or an album. It was Mike Posner. I really like Mike Posner a lot. His voice is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a song called Keep Going.
Okay.
That's what, and he kept doing like posts on like, I don't know if it was Instagram or Twitter, and he would just use the hashtag Keep Going, and that's just like stuck in my head. It's just so simple, but yet so profound at the same time.
All right, a parrot. Keep going.
Yeah, that just like, or even something more blunt, like stop being a bitch. Yeah.
Stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
I
had that on my fridge for a while. It's on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, though. Yeah. Mine was last night I said that I'd teach my parrot to say, I'm calling about your car warranty.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that would get old after a while, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny. Like, when I could get it to say it, like, that's what my bird would say.
Yeah.
Okay, one from your listener. Favorite childhood memory?
Ooh, yeah. This is another one that was like, there's so many... I had a really, really good childhood. Like, my parents worked very hard to provide for me and give us all, me, my brother and sister, a good childhood. We went on vacations every year, everything. Outside of that, though, specifically, Little League Baseball was just awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was so, like... It meant so much to me, like, to be able to, like, waiting to see if you made the all-star team, like, and then just, traveling a little bit for baseball, like, if you moved on. And then I remember just the soul-crushing game that we got beaten, didn't make it to state, but those are great memories, like, those people that I played with, and, yeah, it was just so serious, like, but yet so, like, I don't know, something I really remember a lot, and good times. Yeah, and I heard Little League's not exactly what it used to be either. Like, they don't even have the people, they can't even keep that many kids playing Little League.
I just did a episode
about parents, right?
The crazy sports parents, and we and we kind of get.
I umpired for a while.
Yeah, we kind of get into it's a great episode actually. I brought two moms on that like their kids are heavy. Active. Like her son went to college to play baseball, and it's interesting, and it's changed a lot from when we were kids. Like so serious.
Yeah, like they all do travel ball.
Yeah, it's a lot. So good. I'm glad you were part of the era that could enjoy it, and that's a favorite memory.
I feel like I was like one of the last like eras like that really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was such a big deal, and I played like my area where I played Northwest Little League. Shout out Northwest Little League. But we were known to be like good. We had really good like everybody like just really cared, and we had like really cool like fields like. That we like our grounds crew like took really good care of it, and like everybody was just like super into it, and it was just I really enjoyed the structure of it, and just like just some really cool times.
Good. Okay. What is the worst fashion decision you've ever made, and do you have a picture of it? And if you do, I would like you to post it on your page.
Oh, that's easy. So I would probably, it has mixed reviews. So some people would say, hey, that was cool. Like, that was a good idea. Or it's funny. So my senior pictures, I have an afro.
Nice.
And I'm 50-50 on whether or not that was a good idea. it's funny to me now. Like when I look at them, I'm just like. But yeah, I've always had very curly hair, and I grew it out in high school, and yeah, I had a fro in my senior pictures, and another one I did.
Can we get you to post that?
Yeah, I can post that as well as the. There's actually one of my childhood friends' dads. Actually, he still calls me Elvis because I used to slick my hair back when I was like in 5th grade.
Cute.
So that was a questionable one as well.
Yeah.
A lot of hair gel there. Just slicked it straight back.
Dapper Dan.
Yeah. So I went through that phase as well. So that's another one where I question if that was a good idea or not.
Just post them both, and then we'll do a poll. Who likes which one better?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a significant age difference there, too. Yeah.
Okay. One from your listeners. Who's your favorite uncle?
Yeah. And of course,
why?
My Uncle Al posted that.
Okay. I wondered. I'm like...
Yeah, which I thought was funny because he wants me to say him. I don't have a favorite uncle.
Shout out Al.
Yeah, shout out Uncle Al. I don't know if he'll listen to this. He's retired. You got time, dude.
He does.
But, yeah, I have a lot of cool uncles. They're all...
How many do you have?
Characters, at least. So, on my mom's side, I have 6 or 7 uncles that are alive right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the uncle I wanted to bring up, though, is the one that's not alive.
Oh.
So my Uncle Mark, I have 2 Uncle Marks, actually. I have an Uncle Mark, my dad's brother, and my Uncle Mark, my mom's brother. Uncle Mark, my mom's brother, passed away when I was a teenager, late teens. I can't remember exactly how old I was. It was a while back, but he was someone that I got to see once a year.
Okay.
Like on the holidays, because he lived in Oklahoma, and he was hilarious. He was so funny, and he would just always, and then he also, he has my cousin Greg, his son, obviously, is someone I'm really close with. Like, we can just, like, pick up where we left off. We're almost like brothers.
Nice.
And so that's really cool, too. Obviously, he's not my uncle, of course. But, my Uncle Mark, I just wish I was able to have the relationship with him, like, as an adult. I only knew him when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, the worst date you've ever been on. Did we ever cover that
I
with
think
the
you covered,
shit story?
yes.
Does that go hand in hand? I mean...
That was it.
That was it. Okay.
I've had other ones, but that takes the cake for sure.
What would be the tagline to the sitcom of your life?
Modern Day Overthinker is not really a tagline. So
I know, it's a tough question.
I don't know. I'd say, like, the guy who's always overthinking.
The guy who's always overthinking.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because I even ran into a situation today, like, somebody didn't text me back. Like, I texted someone the other day who I don't talk to that often. It was just, like, somebody I've been trying to network a lot with starting a new business, and I reached out to somebody, and they never got back to me. I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, oh, this person... If it's a girl, I always think they think I'm a weirdo. They think I'm a creep or something, like, which is weird. Which I don't know, understand. That's deep-seated. No, she just forgot to text me back. She texted me today.
See?
Because I texted her again because I was like, oh, just like, whatever. I'll text her one more time to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it had nothing to do with like I'm not trying to take her out on a date or anything. I was just trying to pick her brain because she's really good with social media. I'm starting a social media business. So she did get back to me and she apologized. She's like, "Oh, I spaced." And I was like, "Okay."
That's happened to me though. Like where I'll see the text, but I'm in the middle of something, and then it's already read.
Yeah.
And then I don't. You know what I mean? Then I'm like, "Oh shit!"
That's one thing about me is like I'm really good at texting back and really good at getting back.
I try to be, but occasionally one slips through the cracks.
Oh well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. What's the best Wi-Fi name you've ever seen?
Ooh, there's a lot of good ones that I've seen. What was the one that we had in college? Well, my Wi-Fi name at home is Bonesy, but usually something like, I'm a big conspiracy guy, so I like something like, like FBI or something like that. Like,
so my boyfriend's, when I first met him, he lived up in Minneapolis, and his Wi-Fi was FBI surveillance.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, that was his Wi-Fi.
That's fun. Yeah.
I'll give you one. Maybe this will make your list.
Yeah.
My Wi-Fi password. So me and my best friend live together, 2 girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our Wi-Fi password is 2 girls, 1 router.
That's good. That's really good.
You should have seen the Imon guy's face, like when he came to hook everything up, and he's got his little clipboard, and he's like, "Okay, what's the he's filling it all out," and I'm like, 2 girls, 1 router, and his pen just stops, and his eyes look up at me, and he's trying so hard not to laugh.
Why not laugh? Whatever.
Yeah, 2 girls, 1
I laugh
cut.
at work all the time. Some people may not like that, but
Yeah.
that's the way I get through my day. So.
What's your favorite thing that you like about yourself, Collin?
I would say my ability to accept people for who they are. It's not 100%. Like I'm not. I know
We're human.
Yeah, I know I'm not perfect, but I had someone give me a compliment the other day, and one that I really appreciated, which we talked about it last time. I'm not really good at taking compliments, but I'm trying to get better at it. Someone told me that they appreciate me. He appreciates me for other reasons as well, but one of the main reasons he appreciates me is because he does not have to put any type of facade or wear a mask or anything around me. He can just be his self and be vulnerable.
It's a great compliment.
Yeah, I'm like, yep. Because I've heard all kinds of stuff. I've had a lot of scary things happen in my head, and so I have a lot of empathy, and that really helps with being able to relate to people, and also is another reason why I think people enjoy the podcast as well.
Yes, agree.
So
agree. Safe space.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, I'm a safe space person too. So
Yeah.
I get it. It's fantastic when you get to hear it, when somebody says it to you. Like,
Yeah.
You're my safe space.
Sometimes it can be exhausting.
Yes, it can. Yes, you have to find balance within it.
Because there's boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, that's a fantastic compliment.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say the same about you.
Appreciate it. That was really nice to hear, and it was somebody that I needed to catch up with and hadn't talked to in a while. So.
Yeah. What else do we have here? Let's see. You might have to edit this. Hold on. Ooh, okay. Next question. What's the strangest thing that you've ever eaten?
Strangest things I've ever eaten. I ate iguana one time.
What?
Yeah.
Why, how, and where?
I was on a cruise in trying to remember which island we were on. I think it was one of the Virgin Islands. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, they had an iguana dish, and I was like, that sounds weird. And I'm not a picky eater. It wasn't very good though, because it still had like the scaly Yeah, I was like, can you just take that off? Like you'd think I don't know. It was interesting. It wasn't like throw up disgusting, and it wasn't very appetizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ugh, iguana.
I've had frog legs too, but there's a lot of people eating those.
Yeah,
It
iguanas.
tastes like chicken.
I've never heard iguana, so.
Yeah, that was random, and I was
Wow.
like, it was kind of like a win in Rome type of situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
would have tried it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got 2 more for you.
Okay.
If you could meet any one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Whew. That's a really tough one because I have like a list. So it'd be me. I assume it'd be meeting them. They didn't ask this way, but meeting them for the first time. So I would have to go with. I have to pick
Such
2.
a tough question. That's okay. Pick
I'm
2.
gonna go with 2.
Pick
so
2.
Either Theo Vaughn,
Yeah.
or Larry David.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Larry David is just, I like the way he sees things, and I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. I need to catch up on it actually.
It's a good show.
Oh my god, so
Yeah.
funny. And then Theo's just so. He's just such an interesting guy.
He is. He's interesting and he's raw and yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many similarities I've seen with him that with me, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Because his podcast is such a variety. Like it's it's kind of a comedy podcast, but it's kind of not. Like he gets into like serious mode. But yeah, Theo, he actually is connected with a couple of comedians that I know, but like on a distant level, like
Yeah.
one guy opened for him, like kind of thing. So
Yeah.
maybe down the line, as long as I stick with the comedy, hopefully I can make that happen.
That would be cool.
That would be
Shout out Theo.
Yeah.
Collin once on your podcast.
I want him on mine, actually.
That too. Yeah.
I mean, I would obviously not turn down a guest on that.
No.
Because he's skyrocketed with his podcast even recently, especially because he had that whole Roseanne thing happen.
Yeah.
Because YouTube took it down. And I watched some of that. That was a great episode. Say what you want about Roseanne, but she is a legend. Like...
she is, and she was a huge door breaker for women in comedy.
Huge.
Like, I mean,
Massive.
yeah, I agree. People can say what they want, but I'm a fan.
Yeah, I just don't like the taking people down just because they
Canceling people. I'm over it. Been over it. Actually, I was never in it.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
I'm way over it, and that's another thing. That's why being the person I am and being. I mean, obviously, like I said earlier, sometimes I do judge people. We all do, but I don't think it's fair. It's just like
I'm in that boat too, and it's hard to have discussions with people nowadays too because people want to sway one way or the other. But I mean, if we
extreme.
If we want to get to the reality of it, and if people were really fucking honest about themselves, we would literally have to cancel each and every single one of us human beings on the face of this earth. We are all fallible. We all have said things that we regret, thought things, been a certain way, or as we evolve that's what we do is we evolve as humans. Now there's the people that don't get better and don't grow.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that do, but you can't just cancel everybody for everything. It's like some places won't play. I actually just saw a discussion on social media yesterday about this of should we play R. Kelly or not?
Ooh, yeah, I've heard about that.
And it's like, okay, well, I mean, do we want to keep going down the list? Then no Jerry Lee Lewis, no Elvis Presley, no Michael Jackson. No, I mean, we can, if you want to play that game, we can go down the list, right?
Yeah.
So I'm more of like love the art, not the artist.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from.
That's kind of my philosophy. Like, yeah, fucking Michael Jackson made some fantastic music.
Yeah.
Do I agree with his moral compass? Absolutely not.
Yeah, and it's not like I can obviously with R. Kelly, I mean, I just like Remix to Ignition. That's the only thing I
Right?
really like. That's the only song I
You
really.
remind me of my Jeep. That was my jam.
Yeah,
but no,
but-
do I want to hang out with the guy and have a beer with him? No, he might pee on me, or try to
Yeah.
trap me in his basement. I don't know.
I mean,
Is he?
he's very much in prison, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
like, is
it's
he a good human? No. Did he make some good art? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
A lot of artists are messed up.
That's a tough conversation with people nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I've even, there's certain things like, where I was like, oh man, I really don't like this. Like, my thing is like the companies need to stay out of stuff. Like, stop hopping
Agree.
on everything. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we know what you're doing. I have a capitalist mentality, like business mentality. Like, I know what you're doing. Just stop.
Correct.
You don't care.
Everything's a money grab nowadays, though. So.
They don't care at all.
No. Everything's a money grab.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If you want to jam out to R. Kelly in your car, go ahead. I don't think you're a weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
Remix that Ignition all the way home to Quad Cities tonight, buddy.
Yeah. I'll probably just freestyle. But.
There you go. Okay, this is the last question.
Okay.
What are your moral strengths outside of compassion for people?
Moral strengths. I would say my ability to admit, I don't know if this would fall on the morality scale, but it would be a quality that I appreciate about myself is I am sometimes more than willing to admit when I was wrong. Like, I'm wrong. Like, how do we fix this?
No, that's completely a moral strength.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes it's almost like a double-edged sword where I wasn't wrong and, people-pleasing stuff.
Yeah.
So I got to watch that. But definitely being able to be like, oh, I screwed up. Like, let's make this right.
It's so refreshing when other human beings are that way. Like, that's so refreshing.
Accountability is so rare. I mean, I wouldn't say rare. It's more rare than it used to be. And I've learned that working in customer service, talking to people. So many people just they will die on hills that they built on lies.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. Like, just admit you were wrong.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but nope. They want to say everything that was wrong on the other side of the street, but they don't want to talk about their side of the street. It's like, no, that's not. It's not the way I work.
Yeah, I agree. It's really refreshing when people can be that way. So I wish more people were that way.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Sometimes it takes longer for me to do that than others. Like, I'm carrying one resentment right now that I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but
yeah,
I try not. I know people that have a laundry list of things or people that they have problems with, or where they were in the wrong too, and they're just gonna not do anything about it.
Yeah.
They're just carrying that all the time. I don't want to do that either.
No, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Okay, this isn't a question for you, but this is my final for you and the audience.
Okay.
And this is such a great question, and it'll probably stick with me forever.
Oh boy.
Why is the number 11 not pronounced as 21? Number 22 is pronounced 22, the same as 33 and 44, and all other double digits, same numbers. Why is 11 different? 21. I think I'm going to say 21 forever.
21, because it sounds ridiculous.
Is that your answer?
That's my answer.
I love the way it sounds.
And I love the number 11.
I know, 11, 11.
Yeah, 11.
Now I'm
11.
going to 21, 21.
No. It sounds terrible. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, 1T1. No, it was honestly I found it on the internet and I was like,
it's one of those things
never crossed my mind.
Yeah, that you just don't think about.
No.
Somebody pointed out. That's why you gotta love the internet. People pointing out stuff that you never would have thought of.
1E1 and the bald guy with the driver's license.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Because if you're bald, you could say you had any hair color.
Yeah, you could lie your ass off.
Redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last of a dying breed, redhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are redheads really becoming extinct? Is that a thing?
I see that online. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the internet, so it's
Yeah,
true.
it must be.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I mean, I'm one of my best friends is a redhead. I don't know.
But how old is she?
My age. Yeah,
How many fresh redheads are popping out?
I don't know.
That was actually a thing with my nephew. They thought he might be a redhead. I was like, man, I don't really want to disown this kid. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Gingers have souls.
Yeah,
Remember that kid?
Yeah. I've just heard that. Yeah, the soulless ginger thing. It's just one of those funny jokes it's just fun to
There was a kid years ago that went viral for
saying that.
Yeah, just YouTube him. Just put Gingers Have No Souls Kid, and it'll pop up on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Is he ginger?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Google that kid. I mean, he's an adult now. Like,
Yeah.
this was years and years ago, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, he's just a forever meme.
Yeah.
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 Gotta love that kid. Where are the memes now?
I know. So, yeah, those are my questions for you today. What do you think?
Those were good.
Yeah?
They were creative. I like that. And you didn't have any ones that completely stumped me. The driver's license one is just like, that one's tough for anyone.
Yeah. I mean, and there were a lot of the basic ones. Like, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Superpower would be time travel for sure.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I always go invisibility. And the first thing I would do is probably rob a bank and then move away.
Oh, yeah. Well, my thing would be money related, too. I would go back in time.
Oh, it's terrible.
Play the lottery.
Time travel's good. Yeah, that's good, though. Time travel's good because
I don't know if that's a
that'd be
superpower,
fun.
though.
I don't know. I've never heard that one before. It's a superpower.
Yeah. Maybe my superpower would be like to be the level of genius to create time travel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the game? Me and my friends will play this. Like, you have a superpower, but so like I can become invisible, but I shit myself every time. Like, there's like a counter to it. So, and everybody at the table gets to pick the butt.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a good game to play.
That is.
We play a lot of like group games at my house and stuff. Like, especially in the winter, we all get together and just sit around and play different games. But that's one of them. Like, I can, any superpower you can think of.
But there's a.
But there's a but. Yeah.
That's kind of how life works, anyway.
Exactly.
You can never have the 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that game.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot more playing games and like either board games and different types of interactive games with people. That's another thing I've gotten more into that I didn't used to do when I was partying.
Yeah.
It's been a good sober activity.
It's a blast. We do it all the time. Or, we'll sit around and play cards or get the new box set of Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, my buddy has every single one of them.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, anymore, like when we're done with the box, I just give it away or get rid of it because there's just so many.
Yeah. That's always a good game. I played that with my grandma once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
She enjoyed it, but there were certain parts where she was like, oh my. That's a lot.
I got a new edition last Christmas, and we always have Christmas at my house, so it's everybody. It's like my friend, and we have friends and family and everybody. So it's my roommate and her family and mine, and my boyfriend and his parents. And so at one point we have his parents playing, and it's a dirty box of Cards Against Humanity. So like.
Is there a clean box? Like,
old Grandpa Ted saying pussy. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's great.
Just hearing them read the cards.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Nice.
Yeah, it's a classic. But yeah, it's like an endless game. Whoever invented that game, I
want to know
them.
who gets paid to sit at a round table and come up with those cards because
what a job.
I want that job.
What a job.
I would be great at that job.
Yeah, they probably need more people like expansions if they got to be running out of ideas.
Yeah. Eventually. Somebody's getting paid to do that. That's amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the different jobs out there that you can think of. Like
Dream job.
that are just so like, oh, somebody has to get paid to do that.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Some of the cards, like, woof.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody thought of that.
Yeah. Or they stole it from somebody else, but still.
Still, yeah. Yeah, I like question games. So I was excited when you asked me to do this, actually.
I appreciate it. Yeah, especially on the short notice. I was
It's okay. Yeah, I made it work.
procrastinating. Ooh, yeah.
It's okay. I got you. I'm going to go play a little pickleball now.
Hell yeah. I'm going to probably find a coffee shop, and I brought my laptop. I got some stuff I need to work on. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then I need to get into funny mode.
There you do.
Yeah. It's only, thank God it's only 5. I love the 5-minute sets. They're my favorite.
Yeah. Sweet spot.
Less pressure.
Yeah. Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thanks again for having me guest host.
Yeah, of course.
Lots of my people listen to your podcast now.
I think I've gotten at least a few
Yeah.
that have that now listen to both, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yes.
And yeah, until next time, thank you for tuning into Modern Day Overthinker with your host, normally Collin, and guest host Tabbatha. Have a good day or good evening if it's that time of day. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.